When folks are buying the biggest decision in their life, spending the most money on anything, that's home ownership, it's important that they remember godly principles in their finances. Luke 12:34 says, where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. My profession is a ministry because I get to help people not spend too much money on real estate. I am honored to be able to do this. I have been in the business for 14 years, and I've seen several people buy many houses, and some of them bought houses that they couldn't afford, and sadly just a few years afterwards have lost them to the bank because or they had to sell them and downsize immediately in a rush and lost their investment entirely. I do this in three ways. First of all, it starts in negotiations, then it goes into lender selection, and then finally it goes into the process of doing the CMAs to make sure the property they are buying is being bought at or under market value. I give buyers valuable information to keep them from spending too much money. At the beginning, it starts with the most stressful part of real estate, and that's the negotiations between a buyer and a seller. According to the National Association of Realtors, negotiation is more of an art than a science. So for me to be able to explain to them everything that they can do as a draw line the same way for every buyer to every seller is not going to happen. It's an art of understanding what is the objection, what is the selling purpose, what is the desire of both parties. And that is not just a scientific thing you can just figure out. It's like I said, like the NRA says, it's an art. I bring an objective voice to a very subjective situation when I negotiate. My job for that is to get the best possible deal for the client that I represent. I do this by being his sounding voice. And if my clients don't adhere to what I have to say, ultimately it's their final decision. But I find that when I do my homework and negotiate hard for them, I tend to get them the best deal. That saves them money, and by that beginning of saving money at that first step, it's a great start off to stewardship. God has given us the ability to spend and to use things, finances, health, whatever the case may be. It's our job to be good stewards with what He's given us with. And I find as a realtor, that's one of the first jump off points I use in the negotiations. Then the great thing is I begin to walk through the loan processing procedure with them. In this business, it's not just me that has any type of ability to influence if the buyer's getting a good deal or not. Of course, most of us heard of the lending practices about 5 or 6 years ago, where literally thousands of families lost their homes because of what they call predatory lending. People who are doing escalating interest rates. This has turned our economy into the position it is today. It had a big part to do with that. And as a realtor, I find out one of the things I can do to promote godly stewardship with my clients, is to walk them through the lending process, introducing them to lenders who are a good reputation, who give great interest rates, and who don't have unnecessary fees. National Association of Realtors again said that one of the biggest concerns they have in a home purchaser is getting unnecessary fees by a lender, and they recommend that lender use their realtor, their accountant, their attorney, someone to refer to them a lender that is of good reputation and can help them. Another key component to ensure that the buyer doesn't spend too much money on a home that they want to buy is the use of a CMA. A CMA is simply a comparative market value on the home that they're looking to buy. My CMA is what I do when a buyer wants to buy a home. I immediately do a CMA, find out what the value of the house is, and make sure that house is valued with the market trends as of that minute. By doing that, I ensure that they get the best possible price in today's market. And another thing it helps with is in my business, just this week, we had a very large deal follow through because the appraisal came back way outside of what we thought it would. A good CMA will prevent that a lot of times, and we are able to save deals even at the beginning because we don't offer more than we can get an appraisal for. In conclusion, the profession of real estate gives me an opportunity to impress godly stewardship principles from negotiations to lenders chosen to the CMAs at the end, even to clients who don't care about godly principles. I believe God honors our attempts to assist others to live out His principles and His promise. And that's why I feel that my job as a realtor is one of what's the word I'm looking for? It is one that brings God honor and glory, and that's why I do it. Done. How